Hello, everybody. Here's Anne popping back on behind my apron Sunday afternoon. And I was thinking about what I was going to make that would be fast and really delicious. And I landed on one of Pamper Jeff's oldies but goodies. And so I'm going to show it to you guys so you all will know how to make this. So I am doing a chicken broccoli braid. And I have one step done. Look at this. This is one of my oldest pieces of loved stoneware. This is actually the rectangle stone that we still sell. Remember, the uglier they look, the better they cook. And I have a crust rolled out and slit already on it. So just a second though, I want to tell you something about this. So when I first started with Pampered Chef, this is one of the things I loved was stoneware, and I still love it. And you guys, coming up this week is Pampered Chef's 41st anniversary. So 41 years ago on October 15th, our founder, Doris Christopher, had her very first Pampered Chef party. And boy, am I thankful that she did. And this is one of the recipes that I learned really early on in my Pampered Chef career, more than 30 years ago. And I still pull it out to make. So I thought I'd make it tonight. I thought I'd do it on this stone because it bakes up beautifully this way. Plus, it allows me to share a couple tidbits with you guys. If you're a round stone user, you can make this on there. You just have to adjust it a little bit. But you guys, since it is our anniversary week with Pampered Chef this month, there's also one other really cool special I should mention as I'm putting this together. But first, let me show you a couple products. So the original recipe called for putting crescent rolls down. And now that they come in a sheet, it makes it really easy. And then you make slits on both sides, but not all the way through. But I have recently found this product in our local Fairway. And this makes wonderful calzones, wonderful flatbread, and I thought it would make a wonderful braid. So I'm going to do that for my recipe tonight. So I'm also going to start the mixture. And so let me grab a couple things over here. You need at least a couple cups of cooked chicken. And I had some leftover chicken breast. So I just put them in one of the traditional glass batter bowls from Pampered Chef. And you guys, as you can see, if you've bought one recently, it might look a little different because the handle is a little bit different than this. But I bought this one. Actually, I probably never bought it. I earned it, I'm sure, somewhere in my kit, somewhere in the past 25 years probably in the business. And I'm using what is called the salad chopper. I love this item for dicing up things like cooked meat. And yes, of course, you could use it with salads. You could even use it here. I have a chunk of yellow pepper. You could use it to do the chopping of that if you wanted. So I've diced up the chicken. I'm going to just add it to a bigger mixing bowl. So one of the bowls from the stainless steel set. So I have a base here to mix with. And then I'm going to add the mixture and vegetables with it. But back to what I was saying about it being our 41st anniversary. If you've watched me all these years and are looking for something to do and add a little bit of fun to your life, get the products for a discount or earn some income, did you know that this month you can start with a $41 kit? And it comes with this lovely piece of stoneware plus some other things in it. So if you've ever watched and thought, heck, Anne's just popping on a food chopper like this, and you think, I might as well do that too and earn some income, I would welcome you to my team. So I'm going to chop the broccoli, the yellow peppers. The recipe calls for a red pepper, you guys. I didn't have any red. I had yellow on hand, so that's what we're using. I'm just going to move the food chopper around. You could move the food or the chopper on your cutting board, whatever you want to do. And the recipe, you know what? It's on my website, first of all. Any of you can go search it. It is called Chicken Broccoli Braid, but I will also post the key ingredients in the comments. And if you guys are cooking because it's Sunday or you're having Sunday fun day, let me know in the comments what you're doing. I would love to know if anybody else has purchased this flatbread dough and what you've done with it. And if you haven't fallen in love with our food chopper yet, if this is something you haven't used, you guys, this might be why I love it the most. Comes apart like this, 3 pieces, opens up. does a really fast, small job, and then you can throw it all in the dishwasher. So that is just a bonus. And now, one thing I've learned from a friend is that you can take, when you chop on the cutting board like this, you can put the bowl right under the edge, and you can just use your knife or scraper or whatever you're working with to slide all of this in there. And then you don't have to use another scraper to lift it up or move it. So I thought that was pretty genius. So I thought I would share that with you guys tonight. So far we got 3 things in there: chicken, broccoli, and bell pepper. Then we're going to add some fresh garlic with the famous garlic press. I have a couple cloves because they're not very big, so I'm just going to pop them both in the holder here, skins on and all. Remember, you don't have to peel it. Use a knife, cut it off so that you get all the garlic in the recipe. 4, 6, 8 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese, however much you want. Then we need a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. And this is one of the measure all cups. These come in 3 sizes, okay? Perfect for sticky, wet ingredients. I would not choose these to do a dry measurement, but I will use it to scoop out a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise using this small mix and scraper. This is one of the items that was a free gift just in the last month. And if you guys have been browsing, or gosh, at my virtual parties lately, I've had people telling me that they're already shopping and thinking ahead for the holidays. So maybe if you've started doing that, or you want to start doing that, you might want to take a look. But we have a lot of utensils that make great stocking stuffers. Once you have your 1/2 cup, then you just tip it over and give it a push, wipe it out. And you guys, Caro syrup and peanut butter, like for scotcheroos, that's a dream. Take it apart, throw it in the dishwasher. Then we need to add a couple teaspoons of dill. And Pampered Chef's pantry line has just exploded. I think last time I was talking about some of the new breads, like there's an apple spice beer bread, there's a caramel latte bread, there's so many sauces. The pineapple spicy rum sauce is what I did on fish tacos earlier this week. But for this recipe, I'm going to just use a couple teaspoons of all-purpose dill. And the cat holds about a tablespoon. So instead of actually measuring exact, because we like dill here, so I just pour it in and use that for my measurement. And then I'm going to mix this all up. So we have the filling all blended with the mayonnaise. But back to if you are shopping, there are some sale items this month too. And holy cow, you guys, I posted today because I absolutely love our enamel cast iron. In fact, in the spring season, we had it in this beautiful robin egg blue. Well, it's now in the sale category, all on sale. But look at this. This is not for sale yet. Yes, it is, October 1st. But it's not on sale, so it's not discounted. But this is the new enamel-coated cast iron milk pot. And what would you do with a milk pot? You would warm something that you want to be able to pour out of it. So delicious to obviously make your homemade hot chocolate, something like that. But also I've had so many people already tell me that they use a pot like this to do, like this time of year, a caramel sauce or a gravy, and then you're able to pour out of the spout. So that milk pot's now available also. And I used a pizza cutter to cut mine just because it was so easy. The pizza cutter or the green utility knife is your free gift if you're shopping in October with me and your order has over $80 in it. And then if you were doing a whole chicken today and you would have wanted to have done it, but you forgot to get it out of the freezer, you could have put it in our quick cooker, which would be Pampered Chef's version of what some of you would call a pressure cooker Instapot. And that is at a fantastic price for the fall season of just $129. So make sure you take a peek at all of that too. So I know I'm kind of jumping around giving you all kinds of information. But this recipe, I'm just taking a peek at the recipe. We have the broccoli, the chicken, the bell pepper, the cheddar cheese, the mayonnaise, the dill, the garlic. That's all for this part. So then we will put it down the middle of the braid, which obviously does not look like a braid yet, but just stack it down the middle. Kind of even. Not perfect. Remember, we're not perfect chefs. We're pampered chefs. I always tell people that. It's like, I'm not perfect. It's just good cooking. It's not fancy cooking. It's comfort cooking. Need a little bit more on this end. But you wanted the width of it to be pretty even. So this is where I have it going down the middle. Whoops. And then you want to start to what we call braiding, but technically you're just overlapping. So I always take the end pieces and bring it up into the recipe like that, because then it catches, it keeps it contained. And then literally just crisscross, and I will show you. Tuck it in if you need to. Get the idea of what's going on. I'm going to tuck that end in. And if you were using crescent rolls, you could take an egg white and beat it up, and you could brush some egg white. Oops, forgot. See, that's the beauty. You can undo it. Got to bring my ends up. Put the ends inside. Bring that end up and tuck them inside. Should take up one more so it looks better since I'm doing it for you guys. So tuck those ends inside. But with the egg white, you could brush the top with egg white to give it a little bit of a shinier texture, but I don't do that with this flatbread, but I do sprinkle dill on the top. And then probably one of my favorite parts about this recipe is that you top it with some sliced almonds. And I have my favorite kitchen shears right here. And I'll just put some almonds in this prep bowl. But you want a fair amount of almonds on the top, and just set them on the top because they will cook into the dough. If you can't have almonds, of course, just leave them out because they're not inside in the mixture. Scoop this to see. So that's a little bit of what it looks like from the side. And then I'm going to bake this. It bakes in the oven for about 25 minutes. And then a little bit like it reminds you of lasagna. So let it set for about 5 minutes before you slice it. And then you can just slice it and eat it as a sandwich. You can put together a really quick salad. That would be really fun too. But it's called chicken and broccoli braid. And then along with these almonds and this flatbread, I was going to show you a couple things I found at Aldi's this week, you guys, because I love going to Aldi's and taking the time to shop. So I want to show you, if you buy canned mushrooms, they have gotten super expensive at our Fairway and even Walmart. And I have found the same size of pieces and stems of mushrooms at Aldi's for 52 cents a can. So it's a great buy. So if you're needing mushrooms, and yesterday cream of mushroom soup and tomato soup were 50 cents also. The second thing, when you're in a hurry and something like just mac and cheese sounds good and you don't have time to make it from scratch, this particular mac and cheese from Aldi's comes in 3 different flavors. This is their smoked Gouda. I have not made this yet, but I've heard from my daughter that it's great. And then when you need a treat, I have not opened this package because I'm scared to open it. Once I open it, I will love them. Also been recommended from 2 different people just in the past week. So if you're going to make an Aldi's run, they have some really fun seasonal things that I wanted to mention to you. So lastly, really, I'm just happy to be cooking with you guys. But if you need help on something that you've bought, make sure you message me or let me know. Put it in the comments, something that you need more ideas for. That's what I love doing, is helping people solve their solutions in the kitchen. And if you want a lot, like you're tired of watching me cook with the enamel cast iron or the air fryer or the quick cooker and you don't have it in your kitchen, but full price just doesn't work right now, you guys, I can do a really fun virtual party for you, or we can even do a simple old-fashioned catalog party where you can just share some catalogs with some friends. I'm here to help whatever way works for you. And if you do just need anything, I have a party link open too. I'm just glad to always have you here. I truly appreciate your business. And I'm really curious to read tonight's comments to see what you guys are cooking, if you're cooking on Sundays or if you took the day off. So I'll post a picture when this comes out of the oven, and I wish you were here to share it with. See you soon.